Powering up essential systems. Booting root C/audio logs. Reviewing previous data cells. Repairing audio files.
Slowly, something starts to come in around his mind. The static fades in from the edges as he opens his mind to this world's psychic maelstrom.
Is this kind of CT television style, but this time, unlike last time where it's staticky and we don't hear much, this man that they've been referring to as their general.
I try to truck into the inside of his head.
You zoom in and in.
Dolly, that's the word.
Maybe our friends in the West are not as cooperative as we had hoped, and they're trying to steal what we've been working on. Your memory of this start to fuzz out and get unclear and staticky, and these shadows of humanoid figures just kind of standing through the hall and they're all just staring dead at you.
What are we doing? Why am I fighting?
That's the thing with killing. Like, it just creates more problems. Sometimes it solves some, but if you just do it too much, it just creates more than it's
all
worth.
the problems. And Dice will go and stand at the same window and just keep watch.
People going about their business is a pretty normal thing. You see people in all kinds of dress. Nothing's like too incredibly fancy, but it doesn't seem to be like there's a citizenry uniform that is in place here. Everyone's pretty relatively normal as far as that is concerned, and eventually you just decide, okay, I'm far enough away, time to start asking some questions, and you go and you find a person who seems to be just kind of busying themselves with unloading some boxes or something from a cart that they have and setting them on the sidewalk that they're there.
Excuse me, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm sorry. Could you remind me where the guard station is? I have a crime that I'd like to report.
And they look at you a little quizzically, and they go, it's over in the east in the admin sector.
Oh, I must have made a wrong turn then. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the person looks at you a little weird and he goes, what crime are you? Do you know anything about what happened last night?
It could be related to that. I'm not entirely sure. I just need to share some information with the guards.
And the person just goes, oh, okay. Well, that's good to hear.
Take care.
You too. That was weird.
Which way is east?
East is.
I triangulate
east.
Using the sunrise to figure out the opposite direction.
Which way is east?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So
Whoa, no, hang on. I said go the opposite direction. No, I meant I'm following the sunrise.
you follow. Yes, you follow the sun. Actually, the apocalypse has screwed up the Earth's rotation, and now the sun rises in the north. No. No, yeah. So yes, you can follow his directions and head east. It leads you to an area that is very it's like the office district kind of this city. You know, it's got those taller buildings, the more office looking buildings. You see like this area that has they're very clean, they're well kept. There's even just like a little kind of like almost park in the middle, kind of a courtyard for this horseshoe shape of buildings. There's a little like an additional little park that shoots off, continuing in a northeast direction that seems to have some more of these larger, nicer office style buildings. This just judging from the location and the appearance of this place, this is probably that admin center.
Admin center.
I try to look around for something guard station looking.
Okay. Give me one moment. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you're able to you kind of take a lap of all these buildings, and they all have various like names or like placards on them. You see like a building that's you see a building that's labeled as the science center. You see a branch off of that building that's connected to it. You see an old repurposed television station that is now appears to be the production center for this community.
As we walk past these buildings, what's the security situation like? Are there guards out front? Are there cameras?
So, Bravo, as you look around, these buildings do have cameras.
I don't like that.
Don't like that.
Interesting. Is there a way to avoid them?
One question first. So, how much space are you keeping between you and Rex, Bravo, and Dice?
Like, I was thinking like a whole block. Like, we can see him in the distance, and we can see which way he turns, but he's not going too fast, so we can always catch up and take the turn before we completely lose him.
Rex is walking at a very innocently lumbering pace.
Staying back with Bravo.
He's almost like, it's like what, 6'7"? What did I break down? Oh no, I don't have a height. I know I'm.
As opposed to lumbering menacingly, which is
the point is, I'm making myself look as innocently giant as possible.
Yeah. And yeah, so Bravo, yes, there are cameras on these buildings. They're not like there's not like a million cameras sweeping the whole area, but it's those kind of like, like there's a couple to watch the perimeter, and so like as long as you don't get too terribly close to the buildings, you should be able to avoid the cameras.
Good.
It's not like you just have these poles in the middle of the park that have like 8 cameras just doing a full 360 on them. It's more like imagine if you had like a security cam system for your house. You're not watching the street. You're watching like your porch, your back door, maybe your garage.
Well, that's good to know. I pointed out to Dice. I'm like, okay, so this is good. I was worried that they might have cameras set up around the city, like monitoring people, like the way they walk to keep track of them or something. But looks like as long as we keep our eyes out and stay away from important buildings, we won't be caught on camera.
So Rex, 2 more buildings of note. One, at the end of this park, and I'll give you guys an updated map with all the stuff that Rex has discovered. At the end of the park, you see what is clearly the equivalent of Capitol Hill. You see the building that is the seat of government for New Pittsburgh. It is very clean, it is pristine, and it has the seal of New Pittsburgh mounted very prominently up on the wall. And as you go down the little like side park off of this like main area, you see a large garage. It looks like it was like a reclaimed fire station. Now it just seems to be servicing the government vehicles of some sort. And off to the side of that, you see a police station that has been repurposed as a police station.
Oh man, it could be anywhere.
Does that mean it's just been purposed?
I guess so, yeah. Refurbished, probably.
When you said there was a garage, I was really worried for a second that you were going to say, and inside the garage is a gray, cobbled-together van and a rusty green four-wheeler. And I was like, no! But no, we're good. We're good. We hit them well enough, I guess, hopefully.
So many choices.
I say, yeah. You can do whatever you would like, as I furiously update the map.
At this point, I don't get too close to these buildings, but I do want to hang around at the edge of the main square and just look at what people are doing, see if, I'm keeping my eyes open for anybody who seems riled up, suspicious. Seems like they're watching, trying to keep an eye on the guards or on anybody else. But if there's nobody of note, then that's totally fine and to be expected. Just paying attention to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. Okay.
I lean over to Dice and like, do you worry we might be making the wrong decision?
You know, yeah, I really do. I'm still a little iffy on this plan, but it's not like we can stop it now.
Rex seems pretty torn up about New Orleans falling apart. Like, I'm a little worried that he might like this place.
You know, I don't blame you for having that worry, but I feel like we just, right now, all we have is the three of us, so we just have to trust him. Because if we don't trust each other, then what do we got going for us?
I suppose. Well, we'll trust him, but let's also not trust him.
I get it.
Alrighty, so Rex, you have found your target, and many others. Where do you want to go?
Oh, the police station.
Alrighty. So you walk on in. You find what looks like a pretty normal police station. All the signage has been changed to reflect New Pittsburgh instead of old Pittsburgh and whatever precinct this was. The furniture in the room is a lot more mismatched than it normally would be, but it's a pretty normal police station. There's a woman behind a plexiglass shield in front of a desk. She appears to be the front receptionist lady. She is in a patrolman's uniform, and as you enter, she looks at you and goes, "So what can we do for you?"
I'd like to report a crime.
And what crime is that?
I accidentally broke a hole through the wall.
She looks at you and says, "You broke a hole through the wall?"
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. It's a bit of a long story, but
And she goes, "Do you have PLP papers or?"
Oh no! So unfortunately, I was from the outside and I was running away.
You say that, she hits a button on the desk. The door. You hear the door lock behind you.
Rex just continues. Yeah, I was running from some terrorists outside.
Red lights start flashing in the corners of the room.
Oh
no! Boy, that's loud, isn't it?
You hear many a boot step come thundering down the hall, and in no time flat there are four other guards. In no time flat there are four other guards in the room to detain you.
Howdy, boys.
The one in the lead, this woman, she says, "Okay, you're from the outside?"
Yeah, I heard you had some security problems.
She goes, "Well, we'll be glad to rectify those." And she instructs you to put your hands out in the "I'ma handcuff you" way.
Okay.
And if you offer no resistance, they are going to handcuff you. They lead you off to a different room where you are searched, and they find your weapons and will confiscate those from you. And then you are walked down to a room with a chair and a table, a quite obvious interrogation room. You are plopped down in there and left alone. Is there anything you wish to do during this process?
No, I think I just need to be accommodating.
Okay.
Could try to break out of the handcuffs.
You could indeed. You could give that a shot.
No, I'll wait until I need them to.
Okay.
Be surprised.
Bravo, Dice. You watch Rex meander through this area and then walk into the police station. About 45 seconds later, you see red flashing lights inside and assume that everything has gone to plan.
Well,
he's in.
He's in. Okay, we'll keep our walkie-talkies handy. Hopefully, they don't confiscate his. Anyway, let's. I'm just gonna take a guess and say that wherever the resistance movement is is happening. It's going to be far from all these government buildings and cameras and stuff.
I would assume so as well.
Okay, so now comes the task of we're walking through the city. We don't want to look suspicious. We don't want to be stopped by guards and questioned. But we also want to be eyeing people, looking to see if anybody's like standing at the edge of an alley, like keeping watch sort of thing, or looking for signs of any more suspicious graffiti.
So you want to search the city looking for something suspicious that would indicate like the position or evidence of a resistance.
Yeah.
Would you one of you like to roll 2d6? There's not really any mechanics for like saying how long something it takes or whatnot, but we're gonna.
Ooh, we could do read a sitch and ask what should I be on the lookout for.
Ooh, do a read a sitch roll.
Or where's my best way in?
That's true. We could do that. Actually, that fits a lot better than just trying to make up a thing where it's like 2d6 plus. Probably cool, but.
Hey, Becca, what's your sharp again?
My sharp is +2.
Okay, I'll help you if you want to roll for it.
Okay. I will roll. I rolled a 7 + 2, so we're looking at a 9.
Oh my gosh. So you know how I have a +3 hex with dice. I'm like, this is in the bag. I rolled a 3, so that's a 6, so I failed to help.
Well, the good news is that she didn't fail her roll, so you're not exposing yourself to anything extra.
What happens when you fail a help roll? I don't know if we've ever failed a help roll before.
Yeah, well, I don't think we have either. On a miss, be prepared for the worst.
Love it.
So, what should I be on the lookout for?
Well, you should be on the lookout for more of that graffiti. If the city has as many spies as it does, finding someone suspiciously hanging out at the edge of an alley is unlikely. But that graffiti, much more likely.
Okay. So I feel like I honestly just want to start getting a feel of the city. As we're walking, Bravo, I just want you to know, we're probably not going to find them today. We might not find them tomorrow. It's probably going to take us a handful of days to get into any sort of resistance movement.
That's fair. Even when we do find them, they might think we're government agents.
Exactly. Who's going to trust two people walking in and being like, we don't know what we're doing here? That's very suspicious.
It's less suspicious when it's only one person.
It's
That's what Rex did.
Rex just walked in and said, I broke through the wall. And they were like, oh, shoot. Very easy, very easy. I committed a crime.
Okay.
I broke through the wall.
You know, being an honest citizen is the first step towards gaining respect.
Good thing none of you are citizens.
It's the first step towards being a citizen.
So,
alrighty.
When we do find them, are we just going to tell them the truth? We're just going to say, hey, we're from the outside, we're here to help? Or how deep do you think the suspicions run? How deep do you think deep-rooted do you think the teachings, they need to be, it's us versus them, go? Where I was from, before I left, I didn't think anything could survive out there. I just thought it was a bunch of mutants and radiation and wasteland. When I ran away, I thought I was gonna die.
I'm pretty sure when most people run away, that's what they think is gonna happen. I definitely thought I was gonna die.
But I mean, I thought it was gonna be like within an hour or two.
Well, I feel like we should just start by looking, asking questions. Well, not asking questions. I feel like that is the first way to get taken in by the undercover spies. I feel like our first thing to do is just to start walking around the city, get familiar with it, because we still have no idea anything about this place. Get familiar with the layout of the city, look for those graffitis, and hopefully not look suspicious enough to get called out by the guard.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So how about this? Just where would you like to start searching? Like what area of the city do you want to start?
We're still kind of in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. We've only got the residential marked out on the map. So just coming out of the government area, there's sectors. We kind of established there's sectors. So kind of away from the government area and just kind of start heading around through the residential. Are there lots of people walking around? Like, does it seem like just people out and about is a normal occurrence?
Relatively so. It fluctuates depending on what area of the city you're in. Obviously, there's more people walking around the more like social areas or the more or the areas of work there, and there's fewer people in the residential areas during the day. In the evening, there's obviously going to be more people as people start to move back and forth between home and social areas and work areas. But as of like right now, relatively early morning, it's mostly an egress from the residential areas towards those more agricultural and the city admin centers.
Okay,
As we go, what do the people look like? Do they look like beaten down? They look super poor, hungry, or like are they like just like kind of doing just fine? Also, yeah.
As a general term, the people here they're a little thinner than normal, or than you would expect. Looks like food might be a little bit of a scarcity, and they're all relatively reserved, as a general term. If what you've been deducing about this community so far, that it's a society built on narking on your neighbors, being a quiet private person is just part and parcel for life here.
Gonna make it a little harder to gather information.
And again, this is just what you're gathering looking at people's faces as they move through their day-to-day life. Yeah,
and are they allowed to just dress wearing whatever they want, or is there any kind of uniform?
Could you make a sharp roll?
Yeah. 10.
What you notice is that there doesn't seem to be a particular uniform besides occupational. You can probably tell the people who are going to work in the fields based on the kind of more heavy duty and dirt stained clothing that they're wearing. You can tell the people who have their hands stained by grease and tend to work with machinery, and you can. It's that kind of vein. There's not like a city or a societal uniform. It's occupational.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just keep looking until we find more of that graffiti.
I'm down with that plan. So I would say for the majority of the day, just walk around, make note of where we see graffitis specifically. Not just, like I said, getting a layout of the land. And yeah.
Okay. Where do you begin your search?
I was gonna, for today, find the market and social area.
Okay. As you meander this city, it seems to be that a lot of that market and social area is the area that is south of the river and on the west end. So you do a lot of it. You work your way, kind of cutting back through those agricultural heavy like warehouses, the kind of like that area that you hit out your first night. That warehouse, man, it is a lockdown scene as you get within eyeshot of that. But yeah, you're able to go through the city. You're taking your time, looking carefully while trying to not look suspicious. Would you like to make an act under fire roll?
I'll do that.
Should I? Does it matter which one of us does it?
Mechanically, maybe. Narratively, no.
Can I do it?
Sure.
Okay. So I do weird for act under fire. I got a 9.
Yeah. So you're going through the city, meandering, trying to be casual. It takes you a while. In your search for for more graffiti, you don't find all that much. All that much. As you're going around, you do find a lot of the agricultural centers, and you find that this area is mostly residential, which makes sense as it's very closely directed to the market areas and the social areas. As you get closer to the river, basically as you go north, you do find more like a handful of these pieces of graffiti.
Do they all look the same?
It's all the same shape, but they're kind of tilted and pointed in a sense. You know, they're not all, you know, they're not all like perfectly straight up. Some of them are askew.
Ooh.
Kind of pointing in the general direction of the river.
Okay.
Where you currently are.
All right. Let's follow this.
Okay, yeah. Follow him.
Well, so this is taken like this has taken several hours to explore all this area and be careful. So in the time it is taking you from the morning, it is now 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
Okay.
So Rex, you sit in this room. Well, I presume you sit in this room. I don't know, maybe you like do yoga or stand.
They didn't even tie me up to the chair. All right, I'm busting through the wall again.
Yeah. You're handcuffed, but yeah, you're not tied down. You're just doing calisthenics in the back of the room. Good heavens. And after about an hour of them just letting you sit, a person, you hear like a door open and close in an adjacent room, and then the door to your room opens and closes, and in walks a fairly short man in a patrolman's uniform. He's carrying a clipboard and a pen, and he walks over to the table and takes a seat. If you're standing, he beckons for you to take a seat as well.
I take a seat. Morning.
The man, he looks at you and goes, Darlene at the front desk says you claim to have smashed through our wall.
Yes, I'm here to offer my services as helping with the security around the perimeter of the city, because apparently it's lacking a bit.
This man with a clipboard, he goes, how about we answer a few questions before we get started on paperwork.
Okay.
Let's see, my form here says that you carry no PLP, so you must indeed be from the outside, like you claim.
Correct.
What is your name?
My name is Rex.
Do you have a last name?
Kilgore.
Brilliant. Let's see. What is your occupation?
Huh. Oh, that's a good question.
I feel like this form was not well designed for people who are outside of the city.
No, I can still answer it. Let's go with security operations.
Okay. And I guess the most important question for me personally right now, and for my superiors and everyone here who doesn't want to be killed in their sleep by a person. Well, actually, it's multiple questions. We're gonna be here for a little while if you didn't understand. Why are you here?
I was being chased by some terrorists around the outside of the city.
And who would these terrorists be? And he's making notes and writing things down as you say this.
Oh, I don't know, but they wanted to kill me. They caused some sort of huge explosion, and they were trying to get me.
Oh, yes, that did happen. How many of them were there?
I'm not entirely sure, unfortunately. I was too busy running for my life.
Okay. Why were you near here? Like near New Pittsburgh?
Oh, I was just on the road.
Where were you going?
I don't really know. Wandering.
Okay. He just keeps jotting these things down as we go. He goes, I guess more interestingly, what did you use to punch a hole through our wall?
Rex points to his left shoulder.
And the man gives you a very tired look over his clipboard and goes, I do not have time for jokes.
I could try it again right now.
The man continues his unamused stare and goes, that would be entertaining.
So, it's an old police station.
It is.
and not a wall of concrete.
That is that is accurate.
I would like to roll. Oh yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
This is either going to go great or terrible.
That is an 8.
I came back
Okay.
at the best moment.
On a 7 to 9, you get what you want and smash through or move the scenery, but you take 1 harm AP and are disoriented and under fire for upcoming actions. Leave something behind, or take something with you. At this point,
Looks like I'm taking harm again.
Yeah, you're taking harm again. I want to Looney Tunes this thing. A little bit. So, is there a specific wall you wish to go through? There's the wall with the door, a wall with a giant mirror, and then 2 plain walls.
I was going to head for the door, or the wall opposite of the door.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Because I'm assuming that the mirror is the one behind the guy. Well, I guess Rex won't assume that.
Yeah, so I guess I'll give you the layout of the room so this makes sense. So you've got the room is basically a square. You have the table, and the chair that you are faces the door. So the man would enter through the door and then just immediately sit down looking at you. The mirror is off to your side.
Okay. Well,
And so
then
you just
I run
wanna
opposite of the mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. So you say this, the man with the clipboard is looking very unamused at you, and then you just thunder up from your chair and just bolt through the wall.
Body check. Yeah.
Body check the wall and win. The plaster and wood of this wall goes spraying into the next room. You took the chair with you. Because, why not? It's funny. You took the chair with you, but going through the wall, you just skid, and you're now in the adjacent room. This room is what looks to be a holding cell. There are you came through the wall. You see a bench and some barred walls that are made of iron bars. There is a very stunned and shocked into silence man in the other room. Not the one you just burst into, but the one that you came from.
Oh, the holding cell is empty?
Yes, this one is.
Rex grunts in pain and picks himself up and starts kind of limping back to the interrogation room. He sits back down and goes, "Now granted, I can't take too much more of that. It really wears on me, but well, I hope you're entertained."
The man slowly puts his pen under the clip of the clipboard, picks it up and says, "If you will excuse me," and walks up and gets up and goes to the door and walks out, and then he comes back where there are 2 more dudes with him now. They are armed.
Oh, come on.
It's honestly cute that he thinks that'd be enough.
The man with his clipboard, he sits back down and goes, "So you can do that," and he's pointing at the fresh hole in the wall. "And you did that to our wall."
Again, it was a bit of an accident. I was just trying to run for my life.
Roll to seduce or manipulate.
Hot.
7.
7. Okay.
Well, 8 minus 1.
8 minus 1. All right. So on a 7 to 9, they need concrete proof or assurance that what you're selling is the truth.
I mean, it was hard to not run for my life when there was an explosion I was running from the terrorists. And then, there were also more explosions that were trained from whatever you got going up on those walls. So, forgive me for running away from multiple explosions.
And he, this man, he mulls it over for a second and then nods. And he goes, "I have really just one last question for you.
Sure.
What do you want being here?
I noticed you have some problems with the security around your walls.
I beg to differ. See,
Rex
you are the first issue we've had with our wall since it was constructed.
Oh, there's more.
In his this man, his eyes widen as you say there's more. And he goes, "You need to tell us everything. What do you mean by there's more?"
Oh, there's probably more people like me. What, you think I'm the only huge dude?
We have big people in our community. They can't run through walls. Are you some kind of genetic experiment?
What now?
Are you a victim of radiation?
No. What's that?
Have you been experimented on and replaced by an android version of yourself?
No. These are funny questions.
These are the sorts of misery that the outside world has to offer.
Exactly. And if one regular dude can bust through, then clearly you need some more help for when these other bad things come knocking.
Where are these other things?
Well, I don't know.
You
You're the
seem
one
to
that's
have come
saying they
from them.
exist.
This man finishes making a note on his clipboard and goes, is there anything else that you wish to voluntarily tell me before we end this interrogation?
This is a nice city you got here.
We've worked hard to keep it this way. What happens next is this man, he takes his clipboard and gets up and the two guards that he brought in the room with him, they move over to you. They're going to escort you to a very sturdy cell.
Oh, come on, guys. What was wrong with that previous one?
One of the guards looks and goes, "Well, you see, there's a hole in it now. Gotta fix that, and the janitor's not gonna be maintenance isn't gonna like the work order for this one. Yeah, so if you just come with us, we need to make sure you don't do this again. Oh no."
Well, to be fair, I was goaded previously into doing that. I'm just simply trying to extend the offer for help. Oh, shoot, I did forget to say something during the interrogation. Oh, well.
It's all good.
I forgot to give them my resume. I was already an enforcer previously.
Don't worry, this is interrogation one of many.
Oh, great, there's a second round of interviews.
Yeah.
That means I've made it.
Gotta move up the chain. But yeah, so these now that you've smashed through a wall in the precinct, everyone in this place is very wary of you. They escort you to a room where you can be held in isolation. They hobble you, so they put chains around your feet so you can't actually run to get a running start to go through walls. And they post a guard outside of your door.
This is a bit much, guys.
Okay. See, that happens, and then you're left to chill for who knows how long.
Well, that sucks.
This was a great plan.
I'm starting to think this wasn't a good idea.
It's too late. We gotta wait and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad you busted through the wall already, though.
Yeah. Bravo, Dice. So you've spent the better part of a day exploring the southern half of the city. You found some evidence of graffiti. It seems to be pointing north. The river is north, but it just seems to be pointing north. What do you wish to do with the rest of your day?
So, let's go in the direction that those things are pointing.
I was gonna say follow them
North
north.
of the river.
Alrighty. So as you go as you go north of the river, you notice just exploring the city that the frequency of the graffiti increases. As you explore the area north of the river, the frequency of the graffiti increases, but also so does its seeming randomness. Down south of the river, you notice that like it was more common to see them skewed towards the north. As you get up into this area, it's much more random.
Are there still a lot of people up here?
At this time of day, there's not a ton. There are still people here, but at this point, it mostly is like younger people, like children, or like children, or like early teens.
Okay. Is this part of the city more run down or anything, or is it pretty much the same?
This area of the city, it's more run down than the rest, but that may also be because it's predominant. Like this area is predominantly residential. And so just the normal wear and tear of people living is gonna wear on a place.
Oh, interesting.
So it's it's a little more rundown. It's not like bad. It's not bad. These ain't the slums, but it's a little more rundown than other places of the city that you've been.
Okay.
Yeah. The more residential area means more narcs, but I mean, this is where the graffiti is. It's all over the place over here, so that means that hopefully any group of rapscallions are running amok over here.
Yeah.
And there doesn't seem to be any pattern. Is there any sort of pattern?
Can you roll to read a sitch? I need to understand how much of what's going on you're taking in.
10.
You got a 10? Are there any questions you'd like to ask since I had you make that roll?
Okay. Well, where's my best way in?
So, you're a revolutionary yourself. You start going through possible ways that you could lead those who are seeking the rebellion to wherever you were, and you're like, how would I do this? And something that you start to think of is maybe I should look for the pattern in the noise. If we've got an area that's a high density of graffiti, maybe there's a message or a pattern or a path hidden in it.
Interesting. Okay. And second question, what should I be on the lookout for?
You should be on the lookout for Karens staring out of their window with nothing better to do.
Yeah. Okay. I don't get to save any question, right?
No, you don't.
Okay, then I'm gonna ask right now, which enemy is the biggest threat? No, actually I'm gonna say, what's my enemy's true position?
5th floor window on the right.
Your enemy's true position is the same area that you need to look in to find the resistance.
Ooh, yikes.
You can't be the only person who's noticed all this graffiti.
That's true. That was my first thought when it was like, it's pointing a certain direction. I'm like, oh, it's kind of, it's good for us, but it's also kind of apparent. Dice, do you still have that map that Terry gave us?
Yeah, I do, and I'll pull out the map.
Let's kind of go to the edge of the street and sit down on the sidewalk. I'm like, let's try to mark every place where we saw the graffiti and just like try to see if we can see any pattern better by marking down where the graffiti was.
Okay.
Whatever pattern it might be will be more apparent, like looking at the whole thing from above.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is anything?
Well, first,
can anything more clear?
Can you act under fire?
Yes.
The fire being okay. Well, yeah. So the fire being that this looks suspicious.
Can I make that roll this time?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, let's hope I don't fail it.
Can I use my roll that I just did as a help roll then?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Okay. We're both trying to figure this out together.
Yeah. I rolled a 5, so I definitely need that.
Do you add anything to that?
No.
Oh. Well, I rolled a 7 plus 3, so 10. So that gives you a plus 2, so that puts you up to a
That puts
7.
me to 7. Wow.
Yay!
Yay! You really helped.
That was a close
perfect.
one.
That was. Oh.
What happens is you start to plot all these areas that you've noticed the graffiti and their telemetry. When it dawns on you that this looks kind of suspicious and kind of weird. And anyways, you're probably gonna need to spend more time mulling over this and talking about it and like looking at it in different angles. And so, in short, if you want to do this safely, it's gonna take time.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is it doesn't spell out a word when marked on the map.
That is correct. It does not spell out a word.
Okay.
That would have been cool. I will steal that for the next dystopia. When your players have better ideas than you, write them down and use them later. But
I use them immediately sometimes. Is there a secret door? Oh, there is now.
Okay. So, sounds like we have two options. Play it safe, play it slow, take what we've learned, scout out every once in a while. Or we could do something really crazy and attract attention to ourselves.
I don't know if I am ready to attract attention to us yet.
Okay.
We just got here.
Well, let's see if we can... Let's head back to the market and grab some food then before we call it a night, I guess.
Okay,
I don't think I've eaten anything today. I'm starving.
Me too. I was gonna say, as we were walking around like the market area, things like that, does it look like they have a money system?
It does, yes.
Okay.
And is the money...
Follow-up question. Did we find any money on any of the guards?
Yes, you did.
Good.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect.
Sweet.
I thought
Okay.
we were going to have to steal.
You murdered them in the street and then took everything valuable or useful from them. I'm going to presume that if you that you would have snagged any form of thing that looks like currency.
That was
especially
something that I
like the
didn't-
last time you went to a society, and the first question that was asked was, "Can I get beer?"
I couldn't buy any. It was so awful.
That was, as we were walking around, I was like, oh, do they have money? Do we have money?
Is it paper currency or coins?
It's a paper currency. It looks relatively similar to like Canadian currency, except for it's all based around the theme of New Pittsburgh.
Okay. I'll say them.
Also, it's just on like plain paper. It's not special paper.
Oh. Wow. Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. If it's on plain paper, but we don't have any plain paper, just like for the record, we don't have access to that.
That is correct. You also don't have
Yes.
access to a printer.
Yes, but
Or
if
ink.
we did...
If you had access to today's technology, you could make this currency. Tragically, the apocalypse.
That dang apocalypse.
The dang apocalypse ruining all of our plans.
Also, I mean, as much as I want to be like, yes, cause an economic collapse, I just don't think that Bravo knows that much about economics.
Probably.
Probably. Okay, so as we're going, I'm gonna just like tuck the map back into, one of my pockets so it's not obvious that I have a map.
That's right. You two are dressed as guards, aren't you?
No,
you're dressed
That's
in
right.
normal.
You're street clothes.
Yeah,
That's right.
I have a guard uniform on under street clothes.
That's true. That's true.
So I am I'm down to go get some food. I am hungry.
Dude, Matt, did Rex hide the radio, or
Trent
it
didn't
and
say
all
that
of
they found it.
I assume
found
all
my
the weapons
weapons,
got
but-
confiscated.
Yeah, all of his weapons are confiscated. What did I write down?
You didn't say the radio was.
Where did you hide the
where
radio
hid
to
the
avoid
radio?
it being detected?
Armpit?
Armpit.
Mouth? Put the whole thing in your mouth?
Where did I hide it?
In your mullet?
But if I tell you where I hid it, then you'll know where I hid it. And since you don't know where I hid it, then therefore you didn't find it.
I rolled dice. They didn't find it.
Okay.
Wait, what
Where's
kind
my
of
other
hair
die,
does
he
Rex
says?
have? Because I just had the idea of Rex having a mullet so that he could hide it in a mullet, and
He's
I
bald.
love the idea Okay.
Rex is bald.
Bald
Yeah.
makes sense, but in an alternate universe, Rex has a mullet, and I love it.
But yeah, it suffice it to say the radio was hidden somewhere that was able to pass detection. Either these police officers
They
did
were probably so concerned with the weapons that
yeah.
Alrighty.
So Rex, it has been 7 hours
jeez.
since you were last interrogated. Have you done anything, or are you just chilled in your cell?
I'm gonna chat up with the guard.
Okay. This guard is oddly, I mean, like, not oddly, but like they're a pretty talkative person. They're willing to just kind of chat about things and you know, like, and life. They don't go into like great detail. They don't go into detail or anything about like sensitive information. But they're willing to just talk. You just passing time, or you're trying to like get an angle on something.
I guess there is a question that I could start.
Okay.
You know, after a while of just chatting them up, and just being like, so, you know, with the whole, you know, it seems like people are pretty surprised about the fact that I busted through the wall. It was kind of a big deal, apparently, right?
Yeah. Not only is it something that we don't think should be physically possible for a person, but this is the. And they kind of they look around a little bit like they lower their voice a bit, and it's like it's the first time that like our security's actually been compromised. So we obviously we want to patch that hole. I mean literally, but also figuratively, and make sure that there's not more people like you that are going to come making our wall Swiss cheese.
Well, you know, I was talking with the guy who interrogated me. I thought it was kind of reasonable that, you know, yeah, you do want to stop future things like this from happening. So I don't quite know why I'm being treated like this.
You're a threat. We're at war with the outside world. You walked in here and said, hey, it's me, it's the outside, I'm here to terrorize you.
I'm not really here to terrorize you. And in fact, if anything, this place is a safe haven from the people I was trying to run from. Wouldn't it make sense to take the person who broke the defense and have them help fix it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was an accident that came through here in the first place.
Well, let's hope we can at least learn from this.
That's what I'm trying to help with. You know when I'll be talking with anyone else, or am I just gonna be held here?
The guard, she shrugs. Who knows? It's a mix of bureaucracy and other stuff. I don't know. I'm not someone who's high enough in there to know their interrogation protocols. I mean, heck, I'm standing here outside of a door with a dude who's got his feet tied together.
I mean, just between you and me, if I can bust through the wall, I can bust through these cuffs in another wall. I'm here by choice.
And they just kind of take that in and nod a little bit.
Yeah, I think Rex is gonna stop there.
All right. Cool, yeah. So, you know, some more time passes, and you're just chatting up with the guard, and there's times where you talk, there's times where you're quiet and whatnot. Eventually, a couple of guards come, and they open the door to your cell, and they lead you through a hallway and into a different interrogation room. This one seems to be built as a bit more high security. When they put you in there, they like handcuff you to the table.
What kind of table?
Metal table bolted to the floor.
What kind of table?
I've watched enough NCIS to know what interrogation rooms look like. But yeah, no, it's a metal table. It's got like what it has is a hoop welded to it, and it's just another set of handcuffs. That's, you know, they handcuff like the chain in the middle of your handcuff, so you can still move it around a little bit, and that's handcuffed to the table. So that's how you're attached to the table, and the table's attached to the floor. about a minute after you're put into the room, a man comes into the room.
Evening, sir.
This man looks at you and looks you up and down and nods and it doesn't say anything. Walks slowly over, pulls a chair, sits down, and just takes a long look at you.
Have they given me food?
No.
I hate to be presumptuous, but I'm a little hungry right now. I haven't been fed in a little while.
And the man goes, I don't know. You seem to be well acquainted with this kind of thing. Would you not do the same in our situation where we had some unknown entity just kind of, come strolling on in and say, hey, I committed a crime. I blew up your wall.
I'd be very fascinated as to figure out how they did it and, what they could be used for.
And the man nods his head and kind of sits back in his chair a little bit more and starts just kind of fiddling with something that's in his hands. He goes, so, Rex, do you know who I am?
I do not, unfortunately. I haven't been in here for very long.
And he goes, my name is General Tucson Venture. A lot of the people here call me Papa.